What's poppin', y'all? I hope and I pray that you have a blessed day today. As I always say, what you put into the day is what you get out of it. You put in love, you get love. You put in positivity, you get positivity. You put in that work, that faith won't be dead. I'm telling you, faith without works is dead. It's time to get in that prayer closet, get closer to God. Every day that we wake up is another chance to get closer to God, to share the good news of the gospel. I know it may be hard, but I feel like an easy segue into it is to blend it into natural conversation. You know, like when I say faith without works is dead. Before I even knew that verse was from the Bible, when I was in college, I wrote an entire essay about that, what I thought was a saying, and I did not know it was a Bible verse until after I finished the essay. I back checked and I referenced, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And my professor loved that essay before I even knew where the verse had come from. So you can blend it into natural conversation, and as long as you lead with love, because we are not called to judge people. God is the only judge, and he's going to judge how our hearts are, because he doesn't look at the outside, he looks at the heart, most importantly. So how you talk to people, how you act, and how you react makes all the difference. But the first and most important rule is that in every conversation and with every action, you lead with love, you lead with positivity, you lead with a genuine kindness. As hard as it can be sometimes, because we not, listen, I get it, people and things can get on your nerves, but they're always going to, it's never going to stop. So you have to learn how to take it in for what it is, pray about it, listen, wait for God's response before you respond. Honestly, it's better to walk away from a fight than to engage into one that's going to drag out into something you never even intended. And all this because sometimes people don't lead, they lead with their head. I'm not saying to lead with your heart, lead with God, because then he will guide your heart and your mind. So the Bible verse I have for you today goes in correlation with this, which is from Matthew 37 verse 38. And I took a little bit of notes because I got this idea while I was getting ready for work this morning, and I'm really excited to share that with y'all. It says, so Matthew 9 verses 37 to 38, which says, he said to his disciples, the harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord who is in charge of the harvest. Ask him to send more workers into his fields. So this is basically saying that the gospel is like a huge farm with a huge field or land, and the harvest is plentiful. So the gospel is the harvest in the field. And the workers plowing and reaping the fields are few. So we need more people spreading the gospel. We need more people bringing it up in everyday conversation. Not in a way of trying to control somebody, but to help them. We need more volunteers. Because God is the farmer, the Holy Spirit is the ranch hand, and Jesus is the farmer's son. So, hope this helps. Hope it makes sense. I'm probably gonna have to turn this into a video, which is okay. I'd rather dive deeper on it. So yes, God is the farmer, Jesus is the farmer's son, and the Holy Spirit is the ranch hand. They all work together to make this farm, the gospel, which is in the field, work. But it can't just be the three of them, because it's a huge land that always expands. So God needs more volunteers, his people, to come and to help him as he has helped them, because God gives out, fruits and vegetables. He gives us all the resources that we need. The least we can do is come and help him reap the harvest that he has for us. So yeah, I like this verse, and I like the idea that God gave me as the gospel being like a huge field of land, with so much fruit that you can reap after God has sown it into the ground for it to grow. And don't worry, he'll help you take care of it, because if you ever have any plants or anything that have bad branches, he'll help you prune it, because you don't need it anymore. But the fruit that is still good will continue to grow, and you'll be able to reap a plentiful harvest as long as you listen to God's instructions. So, I hope this helps. Hope it made sense. I love y'all. Be safe.